All right, we have Leon Edwards joining the show, the number 4 ranked welterweight in the world. A lot going on at 170 pounds these days, so I wanted to get Rocky on the show to discuss things from his perspective. Leon, good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm very well. Been chilling, enjoying quarantine as much as possible.
There you go. I mean, what a wild few months it's been for all of us, but especially for you. I mean, let's go back to March, because you were supposed to fight Tyron Woodley before this pandemic really started to take shape, and this was a huge opportunity for you in a headliner spot in London. And you know, I know all of this was out of your control, but how disappointing was that for you to not get that fight after going through a training camp and the whole buildup and all that stuff?
It was heartbreaking. That's probably the best way to describe it. And to have an opportunity to headline my home country, that's like one of my dreams, you know what I mean? So to have it taken away from me within a week of the fight, it was very devastating, but it is what it is. Nothing I could do. Corona took over and shut everything down, so it's all good.
And they tried to salvage that fight in some way around the same time frame, right? I mean, it probably wouldn't have happened anyways, but you know, you have other things going on. Like, you're not just a fighter. You and your team are parents and have other things going on. So it was almost impossible to get this thing done, even if they were to pull a rabbit out of the hat, right?
Yeah, for sure. There was let's go to London on the Sunday, the same day. So the following Sunday, at like 9 a.m. saying, the fight's been cancelled and you need to get to London. For me, from here to London is 2 hours, right? So they said, you're flying at 11 o'clock. I was like, what? That's not even possible for me to get to London, get my team together, get to London in 2 hours and to fly, you know what I mean? And so I'm happy I didn't go to London, because on the Monday or the Tuesday, the fight got cancelled anyway. So I would have been stuck in America somewhere with no fight, and don't know if I could come back into the UK or not. So it worked out for the best, probably.
Yeah, I agree with that. What has life been like for you since then? Like, I know you're still training, still getting some work in, however you could do so, but you know, how have you dealt with all of this since the card was postponed?
I've just been trying to stay active. I've been getting my coaches to come to my house, do like pad work, strength conditioning. Got like a little gym set up. That's about it, really, as far as training goes. Apart from that, I've been chilling with my family and spending time with my family and enjoying family time, really.
Gilbert Burns ended up stepping in and getting that fight with Tyron Woodley, and he dominated the former champion for 5 rounds and then earned himself a title shot to boot. What was that like for you, the original opponent for Tyron, to watch that all play out?
I was watching thinking, fuck. I knew that was going to happen. You know what I mean? I knew leading up to London that I was going to dominate him. You know what I mean? And to see Gilbert go out there and basically did what I was going to do, plus worse. I was going to do worse to him. It was, like I said, it's just heartbreaking, isn't it? Because I know I would have done that plus more. You know what I mean? So it took my work, and is what it is.
Of course, UFC 251 is going down on Saturday. It's Kamaru Usman now defending against your good buddy Jorge Masvidal, and Burns was, he was in that slot, but reports came out that before Burns was the guy, and I think you confirmed it yourself on Twitter that the UFC called you to take that fight before Burns was actually slotted in there. Can you talk about what happened there with the call and why it didn't ultimately come together?
So the phone give me 4 weeks notice, right? But I haven't trained since March. So the farmer said, could I be ready to fight Kamaru on the 11th of July? But they wouldn't tell me where it was at the time. So I didn't know if it was in America or where it was, because it's Fire Island. And so they phoned me. But obviously, I suppose my coaches, they said it's basically impossible for me to get into the gym and to get training partners and to have like a short camp. You know what I mean? So it wasn't impossible. It was impossible now for me to have the fight. But here's what it is. Then gave Burns the opportunity. Then he got ill. So, coronavirus been fucking up everything.
It's unbelievable.
Fucking up everything, but it's all good. I'm watching this weekend closely, and I'll love to fight the winner of either man. Cause I got history with both men, right? So I'll love to fight either man.
Because you've been on such a tear in this division. You've won 8 in a row. You dominated Rafael dos Anjos in your last fight. I mean, you want that title. And what's interesting about you is, like, any show I've been on or any show that I've hosted, everyone will say, like, Leon Edwards is like the most forgotten piece to this welterweight puzzle, but in like the most respectful way possible. Was that opportunity to fight Usman on the island? I mean, you didn't even know where it was, but was that kind of a tough pill to swallow, to just have to turn that down, or is just one of those, everything happens for a reason type things?
It was hard. I was trying to come from the coaches like, there's no way we can get like a little camp together and to do it, and nobody was willing to risk the gym. You know what I mean? Because if you do get caught training in the gym, you get a big fine and shit, and it was impossible to do it. So it was a tough pill to swallow. But I truly believe I'll fight for the world title this year. So it is what it is. We'll pass on July, but we'll get that down the line.
If watching Gilbert Burns fight Tyron Woodley stung a little bit, I'm sure seeing Jorge Masvidal fight for the title on Saturday, that's gonna suck for you, is it not?
That's like another one as well. You know what I mean? He's been preparing though for Usman for the last 2 to 3 months, right? Because he was meant to fight Usman anyway in July. So I think Usman is going in there probably less prepared, probably because he's been preparing for 2 people, which Masvidal preparing for 1 person. So it'll be an interesting night of fights to see how it plays out.
I spoke with Colby Covington the other day, and he believes that Kamaru Usman is going to, quote, ragdoll and body bag Jorge Masvidal on Saturday night. How do you see that fight playing out? Do you agree with Colby, or do you think it's a much more competitive fight than he thinks?
I think he's got like a puncher's chance. Masvidal. I think the more technical, better fighter is Usman. He got better wrestling. He's bigger, stronger, better cardio. So I think Usman should get it done. But like I said, Masvidal got puncher's chance, right? He can come out there and like look what he did to Ben. Even though Usman and Ben is 2 different people, but you never know.
In terms of your title aspirations, because you said you would love to fight the winner, and I think a lot of people would love to see that happen, but I think the way it's kind of looks right now, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but if Usman wins, they'll probably go back to Burns, and if Masvidal wins, it likely becomes a circus at 170 pounds. At least that's my take on it. Are you hoping for like your future's sake that a certain guy wins on Saturday to, I guess, make your path to the title a little bit shorter?
Yeah, I'll probably like Usman to win, like you said, because Masvidal wins, calling out fucking Diaz, is calling out Thompson, like random people that's not even in the top 5. You know what I mean? So you can imagine if he does win about what he's going to do with it. So probably if Usman win, I feel that I'll probably fight Usman over Burns, because like I said, it was my fight first, and we both got held back because of coronavirus. You know what I mean? So why not put me in there? We've got history. I'm on the most fighting streak in the division, so let's slide me in there and go from there.
Have you and your team been told that one way or the other that you're next in line? Do you know how that's going to play out at this point?
A little bit. I think everyone's waiting to see what happens in the weekend, though. I think that's what basically I've heard from the UFC. They're trying to see what happens this weekend, then go from there in the division, because the division now has been stuck now for a while, right? So it's good to get a little bit of flow in. Let's see what happens this weekend, and we'll go from there.
I mean, you certainly have the resume for a title shot. You have the long winning streak. It's super impressive. So what's like your realistic mindset right now with getting to the belt? Are you prepared to fight once more, twice more, or like how do you think it realistically will play out?
I don't know. I see them coming back, probably saying, if you and Gilbert want to fight, one fight for the title, why not you fight each other for number 1 contender spot and then fight for the title? You know what I mean? I can see that happening. Or I can see like me getting title shots straight away, or vice versa. So what I think they'll do, they'll probably try to come with like one more probably before the title shot, and then go from there. But I'll be up for that if it's guaranteed title shot next.
Who would make? I mean, Burns seems very likely. I think that actually makes a whole lot of sense. It obviously depends on who wins on Saturday night, but there's Colby there, but he is who he is, so that might be a tough one to get. There's Woodley, but he's lost 2 straight at this point. There's Wonder Boy, he's coming off a good win in his last fight. What actually excites you in this division outside of fighting for the title right now?
The number 1 contender spot, right, which is the Brazilian. So probably he's number 1. He's ranked number 1. He dominated the guy I was meant to dominate. So that's probably him. Probably.
Are you willing to take a different fight if it's offered to you? But it has to have the attachment of a title shot after, right?
Yeah, 100%. It has to be in contract that I'm guaranteed a title shot. There's no way I'm going 9-10 fights without fighting for the title. You know what I mean? So, anyone above me, really. Colby, I don't like him. I think he's a little weasel, so he'd be a good fight as well. Anyone above me, really. Any of them 2 above me can get the smoke, so either or.
What's so weird to me, Leon, and I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm a storyline guy when it comes to fights. Like, I look for storylines in every card to just be a positive thinker. I can't believe more people aren't throwing their persistence towards you fighting Masvidal. Like, there's such a story there. Like, how does everybody not want to see this fight? I don't understand it.
I don't know. It's bad because even when it happened, I was like calling for the fight, but Masvidal was like, "Oh, I don't want to fight," blah blah blah, and talking shit. You know, what I mean, it is a weird thing. Like I said, I love storylines, and it's a perfect build up. I want to kill him. He wants to kill me, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's a perfect line to have a big fight. So let's see what happens this weekend. If he doesn't get the win, let's see how it acts and how he goes on.
Why do you think he doesn't say your name in this list of guys?
The man is a weirdo. I think he knows that. He knows I'll beat him. You know what I mean? I think it's the same with Usman as well. I think he knows Usman is going to beat him. It's going to be a tough fight for him. I think he's calling out Nate Diaz and Wonder Boys, like all strikers and all like past it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like Wonder Boy got knocked out by a lightweight, and Diaz is Diaz. You know what I mean? He's durable, but he's not a world champion. He's not a world champion. Everyone knows that. You know what I mean? And that's just facts.
When are you thinking time frame wise that you'd like to get back? Like, there's obviously a lot of factors in play for sure, but if we're up to you, when would you like to get back in there and fight again?
Late August, early September. I know I heard they're going back to Abu Dhabi in September. I'm hearing, so probably do that. Probably.
Can you fly to the States at all and come back? Like, what's that like? Because I know Dan Hooker didn't have a lot of issues going there, but he had a quarantine for 14 days once he got back. He couldn't be around his kids or anything like that.
I don't know. I think we should be able to fly to the States, but I think we're quarantine when we get back. For like Dan Hooker, like what he did. But I think we can go. I don't know, but I think we can go to the States.
All right. Well, there's a lot of cards filling up, so it won't there's plenty of slots. And who would want Leon Edwards to slot on one of these cards? But one of the things that you've been doing, and I was talking to your team about this a little bit, is that you've been raising awareness for the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's been a crazy year here in the United States with the pandemic. And then on top of that, you had the police brutality, racial inequality, and I guess that message of hope is starting to get displayed around the world. And we've seen folks like yourself, Israel Adesanya, John Jones, Devin Clark, and others do their part, use the platform, for this movement, which should be very much commended. And I think we can both agree that we are a ways away from getting to where we need to be. But what is the movement been like over these last several weeks in your neck of the woods?
Probably the same in America. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the same like in the States. We've been protesting, marching, and trying our best to do it in a positive way, you know what I mean, and to shed light on the situation of what's going on in the world for black minorities, you know what I mean. So we've been trying, we've been pushing it, but we've been doing it for many years, and so let's see. And I've also been started a charity as well with me, Darren Till, and Jim Emmanuel for knife crimes, because especially we've got like a big knife crime in the UK. So we're looking to start charity at the moment. And so I've been focusing my time on that, and also helping with the Black Lives Matter movement as well.
So you've been able to keep busy and do that. How far away do you think from the charity being officially launched at this point?
Well, we're in talks now with politicians and stuff, and so it's close. It's not far away. You know what I mean? I know Dan getting ready for a fight, so probably we're kind of waiting for him as well. But apart from that, it's good, because this deal was like a big close to my heart. You know what I mean? My friend got killed like literally 2 weeks ago. He got stabbed. Got stabbed and died 2 weeks ago. And so this is one of my main focus right now, is to try and push that and try and help that and try to bring awareness around knife crime in the UK as well, because it's a big thing, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Has things improved at all over the last several weeks, or are we still kind of at square one here with the knife crimes?
It's improving as far as like getting the charge sorted and what we need to do and what we got planned and who we need to connect with. It's improving that way. It's moving forward in that way, but we haven't really made no big difference yet, because we're just starting out and we're trying to see what's the best option and the best ways to go about it.
I have a 7-year-old who's playing right across the room here, and my message to him about this chaotic world that we live in is just be nice. Treat people the way you want to be treated. I mean, it's cliche as hell, but he doesn't understand what is happening out there right now. So what do we all need to do better, in your opinion, to try and make sure that things like we're experiencing in our different parts of the world, maybe not don't happen again, because I think that's impossible to say, but at least not happen as often as they are now?
It's probably the same as you, because I'm in the same situation as you. I got 7 years as well. I'm a little boy. So same thing really, is trying to treat people how you want to be treated. Respect everybody. That's why I think martial arts is good, because it teaches you all this. You know what I mean? To respect different races, different sizes, doesn't matter what the person is. You respect them, you treat them nice and how you want to be treated as a person, and that's it. I think all that start, and the parents as well, that starts from home as well, right? You put that into your kid. So when it does go into the world, when it goes into the world, you can be a better human being and be a better man and or a better woman. You know what I mean? So that starts at home and in the gym to carry that on.
How's your 7-year-old dealing with the quarantine life? Is he losing his mind like mine is?
He's loving it. He's playing like Fortnite and he's loving it. No school or nothing, so he's all right. He's all good. But just keep him busy and trying to do stuff with him is hard. The kids do for days and they never get tired, so it's all good.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for my kid to get back to school, man. I don't know. Like, it's like having 2 full-time jobs, man. Like,
it's hard work.
It's great, though.
Yeah, I love it. But it's like I said, I got too much energy. So we want to chill. They're like, oh, let's do something. So, but it's all good. I love it.
Yeah, me too. You know, it's got to be tough, like, speaking out about some of these things right now, because I know, just seeing from YouTube comments from people when I've spoken with guys like Devin Clark and Kamaru and others, and we talked about this, people complain about it, and I can't really understand why they feel that way, but especially in the MMA space, fans can be really fickle and difficult sometimes. Does it make it a little more difficult to speak your mind about some of these subjects because of how people react to these different things?
Nah, not at all. Right is right? So, like right is right, like wrong is wrong, and that's it. It doesn't matter. Like for me, I don't really care about fans like agreeing with me or not. Like I want a better world for my son to grow up in. I don't want to go through the same things I'm going through, or what other black men are going through. In the world, you know what I mean? When he's like my 28, 30, and a grown man. So if I can do anything to change one person's life or one person's way of thinking for it to be a better world for my son, then that's what I'll do, and that's what I'll keep doing.
I appreciate you sharing all this, Leon. Last thing for me before I let you go, I know you've been running through interviews for the last couple hours here, but although
the best one.
Oh, well, thank you very much. You know, we're shooting the breeze here, Leon. That's what it's all about. It's been a while. The last time I spoke with you, actually, now that I think about it, is right before the Cerrone fight. We did like a phone interview, and I probably blended in with like 20 other interviews in that day as well.
That's probably the best one, man, for sure. You asked like good topics and good conversation, so all good.
There we go. So when we talk about like this road to the title, because it hasn't been ideal, to say the least, but once you get there, and once Dana White someday wraps that title around your waist, it's going to be much more sweeter overall, because the road was less traveled, much more difficult to get there, because you've had to learn. You've had to have learned so much about yourself through all of this, more so than other guys who have had more of a faster track to the gold. You know what I mean? Yeah,
for sure, 100%. Once you rock about around my waist, it's going to be like a dream come true. You know what I mean? And to prove to other people you can be yourself and still achieve greatness. You know what I mean? That's what I'm doing. I'm being myself. I'm doing me, and I'm still winning. I'm still achieving greatness. You know what I mean? And you don't have to like put on like one big act to achieve much in MMA. So that's part of my story, really, just to show others that be yourself, do you, and keep winning. And they can't deny winners. So just keep doing your thing.
Yeah, so when the Leon Edwards movie comes out about you getting to the title finally, it's going to be a great story overall. It's not just you getting in there, winning the belt, and defending it. Like, you had to climb some hurdles to get there, man, right?
Exactly. I love it. I embrace my journey. At the start, I was like, kind of like, oh, why not me, blah, blah, blah. But now I have grown to love my journey and to appreciate it for what I am doing. And I'm 28 years old. I'm still young, and everyone above me is like in the 30s, 35, 36, 34. I am 28. I am young, and I keep doing my thing and keep winning.
You're obviously a very patient man to act like this and be very respectful like this. It's hard, I bet, right?
it's hard, but like I said, I got faith in myself, and I know I'll be a world champion. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Have you always been that way? Have you always been like a really patient guy?
Not really, not really. But I think it would. Like my career fucking forced me into it. I'm impatient and just learning through life, right? You have to be patient to get to you, and you can't rush you fall over. That's what mom told me. So if you rush your trip, so it's all good.
Well said, Leon. I appreciate the time very much. Enjoy watching the fights on Saturday. I know it's going to be kind of bittersweet for you, but maybe you'll be scouting your next opponent maybe in September or whenever. So I hope you get that shot, man. Honestly, like, you deserve it.